Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Perino, along with Emily Campagno, Jessica Tarlov, Jesse Waters, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City, and this is The Five. And breaking news just moments ago, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, we've talked about him, and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey announcing that Minnesota will be suing Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and other DHS officials. And the goal is to block the surge of immigration enforcement in the state. Watch here.
This is, in essence, a federal invasion of the Twin Cities and Minnesota, and it must stop. DHS agents have sown chaos and terror across the metropolitan area and in cities across the state of Minnesota. The Trump administration's decision to target Minnesota and Twin Cities is motivated by a desire to retaliate against Trump's perceived political opponents.
If this were about fraud, then you'd see an invasion perhaps of accountants. But that's not what you see. What you see is people being indiscriminately taken off our streets.
And those words come as new protests erupt in Minneapolis. Demonstrators can be seen harassing federal agents across the city. And new video shows the latest angle in the deadly ICE shooting of Renee Good. Her vehicle is stopped in the street, the horn is blaring, and Good can be seen dancing in the driver's seat as officers surround the car. Federal officials call her actions a threat, but Minnesota's Democratic leaders say they were not, and they are demanding accountability.
She's like doing a 3 or a 4 or 5 point turn. 3-point turn or a 4-point turn is a domestic terrorist, and my wife is a criminal every single day.
She's not mad. She's sitting in her car, peacefully waving cars to get by. He should know that you shouldn't be trying to get in front of a moving car.
It's hard for me, looking at the evidence that I've seen, to imagine how he could feel bodily harm.
No U.S. citizen should be afraid of their own government, and that is what ICE has created.
The actions of ICE, they are unconstitutional, unlawful, they are cruel, they are rogue, they are racist.
And over in Portland, to a case involving 2 suspected Tren de Aragua gang associates, the Justice Department charging a Venezuelan man who got shot by Border Patrol. They allege that he rammed a Customs and Border Patrol vehicle multiple times during the targeted arrest. Portland's police chief actually cried while revealing the suspect's gang affiliation.
They do have some nexus to involvement with TDA. We can confirm that. I want to speak for just a moment specifically to my Latino community. This information in no way is meant to disparage or to condone or support or agree with any of the actions that occurred yesterday.
So a lot to get to as we get going on a Monday. Jesse, I'm not even sure quite where to begin, but you have beautiful notes. So I'm going to let you start.
So DHS gave Malusian a list of the bad hombres that they picked up in Minneapolis in the last 2 weeks. This is just nasty. We got a Laotian illegal who was convicted of sodomizing children. We got another Laotian illegal convicted of rape and strangulation, a Somali illegal convicted of homicide, another Somali of manslaughter, a Mexican convicted of homicide. And I could read this list for the next hour. And so you send ICE in because Minnesota's not holding these guys. They're roaming around the city. So you have to go into these neighborhoods blind, cold, in frigid conditions, and you have to do dangerous, targeted raids at homes, not knowing who's behind the door and how they're going to react. You see how some of them react? They drive their car into you over and over and over again. So you get this militant mom who's out of her mind, and she puts her vehicle, 2,000 pounds, and blocks a convoy of law enforcement, pinning the convoy down in a street. It's very dangerous when you're dealing with guys that are at large, convicted of homicide and raping children. And so she drives into them. We know the rest. But why are they doing this? Why is the Democratic Party sending women into the trenches to put their bodies in between foreign criminals and federal agents? Why would they do that? Why are they willing to sacrifice the lives of American women to protect foreign criminals? Is it because of the cheap labor? Is it because of the political power that the census gives? What's the reason? Is it because they're in on the welfare scam? Maybe. I bet when they get power, eventually they might, they just ram amnesty through. They created the conditions for this poor woman's death. They pour millions of people in here. They commit crimes, steal welfare, and then the Democrats circle the wagons around them. So you can't get them out of here. That's what's going on. They're exploiting this woman's death for political power, and the Trump administration is not going to back down.
Jessica, it does, obviously this story really ratcheted up over the weekend and it didn't calm down. So the heckler's veto has changed into the interference with the federal law enforcement. And it's happening not just in Minnesota, but now it's growing in Minneapolis and across the state. And then in other cities as well, you're starting to see this thing. What about Jesse's point about the Democrats sort of condoning or encouraging this behavior that could be leading to bad consequences?
Well, I'm on just about every Democratic listserv, and I have gotten no emails trying to recruit me to go and drive my Honda Pilot into the middle of the road and get in the face of ICE agents. I am not denying the fact that Renee Good was affiliated with a group that was doing this, that there was a makeshift protest going on, and that her car for those 3 or 4 minutes was obstructing the convoy of ICE agents. The issue is that there is no line between her actions and the fact that she is dead that anyone should be able to justify. And if you want to have a conversation about letting ICE do their job, especially when they are targeting those bad hombres, I'm here for it. I have said from the beginning that I think that blue cities should work with ICE to make sure that the bad guys get out. And then guess what? Maybe they won't go around door to door or show up at car washes and pick up someone who has 3 veteran sons that have served this country and is a mainstay of the community.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.